I'm Zoo, and you're watching the Always Simming channel.
Welcome to part one of probably 1,000 of my very first build upload. I actually filmed another build, but I'm so lazy. I'm way too lazy to edit it because it's just so long and I filmed it very erratically. But this one I'm so much excited for, so much more excited for. I've never done a voiceover for builds, so please bear with me. But um, I recently had, not recently, but recently, in quotes, had my Sims for my I'm a Lover get divorced. So I needed to have my heir have a new place that's a little bit smaller for her to move into as a single mom. And I didn't really like the one that I found because it was too big. So I took it upon myself to make it. If no one's doing what you want to do, you gotta do it yourself. So I actually stole the entire exterior from a photo I found on Pinterest, which isn't like wrong, but it took me so much quicker to do the exterior that it's kind of crazy how long it took me to do everything else. But this will be the shortest part. This will be a multiple part series because um, I have such trouble decorating and picking out, like, I have a hard time doing a layout. That's what it's called. But here I am making a roof that I just hated with all of my heart. Like, I don't know who decided we have to have roofs in The Sims 4 because it wasn't me. Like, I would be more than happy to just have a house with no roofs. That's the dream. But again, I was following a picture. I should put it up some point in this build because I completely stole it. Like, I didn't even change it at all. Like, I really just knocked it. I just stole the whole thing. But I always end up finding myself building bigger houses. But then the interior, I have like 3 rooms, and this was the same thing. So I broke this up into, I did exterior, landscaping, first floor, second floor, last touches. So hopefully it'll be 4 parts, but doing the interior took about twice as long as everything else because I am so indecisive. But luckily, this one didn't. I've actually never built an outside of a house as quickly as I did for this one, but that's purely because I just completely stole it from something. The only thing I don't like is how boxy it looks. I was gonna try to do maybe a balcony at the front or the back, but I think it disrupted the beauty of this house. I literally looked up house on Pinterest, and I'm not even kidding. This was the first option, and I went, yeah, that'll work. I've been really into building recently, and I thought, why not? I'm a Lover. I've been doing for about 3 years. That's so embarrassing because I'm on Gen 2, but they're my absolute babies. So I wanted to do them proud, and I wanted to make something I was proud of, and I'm really proud of this. As you can see, I don't know how to make roofs um, at all. So I was really experimenting with how I wanted it to look, and about near the end of it, I realized that I had completely done them in an incorrect way, and I hear Black Cat moving because I guess she's also very passionate. But the house itself is gray, and I was like, should I keep it gray? Should I go suburban blue? Because that's everyone's fave. That sounds sarcastic. It's not. I love a good blue suburban, as you should. But I stuck with the gray, and could you imagine living in this house? Like, it is so beautiful. But because I didn't love it, but because I had so much fun, I also want to make my house like that I live in, but also I want to try to tackle my childhood home that I have not lived in for like 5+ years. But I have like vivid dreams about it, and since I lived there for 16 years, I feel like I could, but I'm not quite sure if I could. But for right now, I've just been building the hell. I've just been building like crazy. It started with my dollhouse build, which was my second video on YouTube that really sparked my interest to start doing this. and then I built a second house that I loved, but I like chopped it up. I tried to stop recording after I did each part, if that makes sense. So I stopped recording after I did the exterior, after I did the landscaping, like so it would be easier to edit it. But for that one, it's a mess. But I really love it. I think it ended up being kind of a modern take on what Rapunzel would live in. I don't know why. I think it's just because it was like pink a lot and purple, and I love fairy tales because I'm a child at heart. But for this build, I specifically had Annie in mind. So Annie has two kids. She has a boy and a girl. Avery is a child. Veronica is a toddler, but not for very long. So a lot of this build, the upper floor is based more around kids, like there's a playroom. So it'll be interesting how they grow up because I'm actually going to have to do a lot of renovations once they grow up because I've made their rooms very childlike. Like Veronica's room is hot pink. Well, not hot pink. I couldn't do that to myself, but it's all pink. And Avery's room is moon. I don't know why I'm spoiling this for you, but I don't know. I don't know how to do voiceovers. Okay, I'm trying my best. Also, windows. Why do we need windows? I don't know. I don't know at all. I don't know who decided windows was a thing. But again, I was trying to go off of the source photo, and they had these gorgeous like window seats on the left, but because none of them fit, I had to kind of give up my dream. So I don't trust myself with windows. So whenever I pick one window, I just stay with the ones that come with a pack, so it doesn't look super weird. The windows on the side, on the other hand, look super bad, but in my defense, I tried. But you can see that I'm trying to fit in the seasons ones, but they had like a brown in the middle, and I did not like it because in the source picture they're white. You know, Here I'm putting in poles, which was so difficult for some reason. Like I truly don't understand why it didn't want to stack at all. But this is a little Simsy trick I stole, but I'm pretty sure it was in the source material. But it just makes your house look so much nicer and more official and nice. And this part I honestly struggled with about for 5 minutes. Oh, look at me go. I don't know what it was, but it really did not want to work. And because I had bb.move objects on, my phone's going off. It's my timer to start streaming. But I was having so much difficulty, and I really hate move objects on, but because I am a slave, it's a slave to it, I did end up having to use it. You see me putting it on and off about 400 times because I was really stubborn. And then this is the part where I realized that the roof was completely different from what I was doing. Like I had no idea. So I'm trying to fix it and keep it more square, I guess, and not have it stick out as much, but I kind of like how I did it originally a little bit more now that I'm looking at it. The the roof on the left had this really pretty circular part that came out at the front, but there was just no way I could make it work. I mean, I'm sure there is, but I'm, again, way too dumb to figure it out. It also had that on top of one of the windows on the left, and you see me putting in these things I've never used before, but look, see, I could almost do it, but the whole roof part stuck out. And if you know how to do that without the roof being weird, let me know, because I'm not smart enough to figure it out. So you can see me putting it in the center, which created difficulties for me while furnishing it because it was in the way, but don't worry, I figured it out just fine. Again, now that I'm looking at it, I should have done a wraparound porch so it kind of helped the squareness of the build because it looks really square and I don't mind it, but it did bother me quite a bit at the end. And again, I wanted to have the perfect little like window seat where it like pops out, but you know, life wants me to live in a difficult way, I guess. Like life really screws you over, and I wish you could center Oh my gosh, trying to figure out windows that made it in the center of these little things, like the little white boys, like I could not make it center and it really drove me absolutely crazy. Luckily, we had these circular ones and like the half circle moon boys that looked really, really lovely. So that worked out, but I really only trust myself to use windows from a set because I feel like I'm not good enough to mix and match. So, and the same thing with doors. Like I only use doors from the pack, I'm pretty sure, from the seasons. I might have actually switched it up because I could not stand how dark they were, but I stayed with the theme. But see how there's like brown in them? I liked them a lot, but again, I was like, source material, Zoe. You didn't create this house. Do it justice, sis. I actually really don't really super love the windows because I think that they don't have any twos. All of their, like the ones that are combined are all three, which is fine. Also, if you can see, there's a railing on the door, so there's really no point for those windows because like you can't, like I couldn't put a bench there. You can't come out of it. So I really was thinking like, do I want to do that? And I ended up didn't. I was gonna put a animal door so they could pop out of it, but then I was like, I don't want to put like a dog bed or a feeder out there and have it look weird from the front. Like that's how I feel. Like look at these. This was me just trying. But yeah, let's see you in part 2. Hope you stick around and I will see you then. Goodbye.